Monday, November the 27th, 2017, to you. Yesterday, Honduras went to the polls. Voters elected the President of Honduras as well as the unicameral National Congress at large. I would like to take the opportunity to reflect on the difficult situation Honduras is passing through and how the lack of seriousness this general election has featured sharply contrasts with the momentous challenges the new president will have to deal with. In 2009, then President Mr. Manuel Zelaya, and ally of late Venezuelan leader Mr. Hugo Chavez, was ousted after he proposed a referendum on lifting term limits. The coup occurred on June 28, 2009, was backed by the Conservative National Party. Furthermore, current President Mr. Juan Orlando Hernandez was among those lawmakers who supported the ouster of Mr. Zelaya. 6 years later, Honduras Supreme Court, packed with Mr. Hernandez supporters, ruled that the constitutional ban on re-election was overridden by a citizen's right to seek re-election. If things were not fishy enough, President Hernandez has been involved in many corruption cases. Indeed, this year, Mr. Davis Leonel Rivera, ex-leader of the drug cartel known as the Cacheros, testified that Mr. Antonio Hernandez, the president's brother, asked him for a bribe in exchange for government contracts. Interestingly enough, President Hernandez may have lost the election. With 57% of ballot boxes counted, Mr. Salvador Nasrallah, the candidate of the opposition alliance against the dictatorship, backed by, guess who, Mr. Manuel Zelaya, had 45.17% of the votes against 40.21% obtained by National Party's Mr. Hernandez. As of writing, the Supreme Electoral Court has not issued a final statement. That being said, I do not have high expectations of Mr. Nasrallah either. Yes, he's a flamboyant TV host of game shows that feature scantily clad ladies by his side, but could he be a good national leader? So, Honduras' fate lies on either a man who twists the rules on his own behalf or a man who is known as the TV guy. That would have sounded funny had the situation in Honduras been calm, but it is not. For start, Honduras is a poor, vulnerable economy. Its GDP per capita (PPP) was estimated at $4,392 in 2016. Source: World Bank. It exports mainly agricultural products like coffee and bananas, and its main export partner, the United States, purchases around 41% of total exports. As such, Honduras is highly vulnerable on commodity prices. On the other hand, only 36% of Honduras households have sewerage, source WHO in 2010. Finally, Honduras holds the dubious title of the world's most violent country. The National Autonomous University says that the homicide rate has dropped from 91.6 per 100,000 in 2011 to 59 in 2016. Those claims have not been independently confirmed, and even if they did, still only 4% of homicides have ended in a conviction. Anyway, Mr. Nasrallah, Mr. Hernandez, please, I hope that either of you may be a good president. Literally, that is a matter of life or death for your country. The world is still on.